Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Madhyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Are you able to hear me? Is my voice audible?
Yes, Mataji.
I'm not able to hear you though, but some sound issues. Still not hearing. You can hear. Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you. So, today is May 26, 2026. May 26, 2026. And we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya chapter 10, the return of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Jagannātha Purī, the Lord's return to Jagannātha Purī. So we saw that the Lord returned. Before the Lord returned, the king, Prataprudra Maharaj, called for Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and requested Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to please have some mercy on him, because he is the recipient of a lot of mercy from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's begging him, please give me some mercy and arrange for my interview with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I want to get darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So at that time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, Mahaprabhu is not here. He went to South India. But when, but he's a sannyasi, he won't meet anyway. But I would have still arranged something for you, but now it's not possible because he's not here. Anyway, there was a nice conversation that went there. I'm not going to go over all the details again, but that's something that happened before Mahaprabhu's return. So not only was the king, so there was one thing. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, because he was asking, please give me mercy. How do you get mercy? You have to render some service. Not that you will get mercy by rendering service. This is an important point also. The very first time when you get mercy of the devotees, that mercy is coming without any condition, unconditional. There's no condition. Not that you have to have this qualification or that qualification. No. A devotee's mercy is ahaituki. There is no hetu. There is no cause for receiving that mercy of the devotee. Who, a conditioned soul. For a conditioned soul to receive a devotee's mercy, there is no qualification required. There is no material qualification required to receive the mercy of a pure devotee. Conditioned soul means the very first time. He never heard about devotional service. For him to receive the mercy of a devotee, does he need to have any qualification? No. Is it because of some qualification that Srila Prabhupada went to the West and, selected certain people and gave them mercy. No. The mercy of a pure devotee is unconditional. Unconditional means he decides. And he is completely free to decide who he wants to give that mercy to. Okay. However, after receiving mercy from a pure devotee, how do you receive more mercy? How do you receive the more mercy from devotees? The way to attract is by bhakti. When you're doing bhakti, when you're doing devotional service, it is very attractive. Because devotees, what do they have in their life? They love Krishna. They want to render devotional service to Krishna. They surrender their lives to the service of Krishna. So what will they be attracted to? If somebody is rendering devotional service, if somebody is endeavoring to render devotional service, this attracts the mercy of the pure devotees. Now, can you say, now the second time when you're getting mercy from pure devotees, it is because of some condition, because of my service? I'll give you the example of Narad Muni in his previous life as a small boy. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 5th chapter, Narad Muni begins to tell Vyasdev about his previous life. And he says that I was a very gentle boy. I didn't engage in frivolous activities. I served them. I didn't speak much. I didn't engage in play. Like small children, usually they are engaged in playing with so many games. I was not interested in those things. I was very grave. So seeing this, the devotees, the Bhakti Vedantis have given me mercy. By their mercy, I got taste in hearing, so on and so forth. So that means, first of all, Narad Muni had some qualities. Therefore, he received the mercy of the pure devotees. Should we take like that? No. The very first mercy that he got is ahaituki, no cause, just like that. But because of that mercy, as a result of that mercy, now he developed wonderful qualities, and these qualities, seeing these qualities, now they are giving more mercy. Now, can you say, okay, so the second time when they're giving mercy, that has hetu, that has a cause, because he has good qualities, seeing good qualities, the sadhus have given mercy. So therefore, the mercy of the sadhus, the second time that a devotee is receiving, is based on good qualities. So therefore, you can say that the mercy of sadhus has some hetu behind it, has a cause. No. Even the second mercy is also ahaituki, because these good qualities came from where? They came from bhakti. That means by the mercy. Mercy is nothing but bhakti. That's bhakti shakti. That mercy of a devotee towards conditioned souls, that mercy is nothing but his bhakti. His bhakti, his heart, that is filled with bhakti, and that soft heart begins, his bhakti becomes, his heart becomes transformed when he sees the suffering of conditioned souls. Suffering means forgetfulness. Forgetfulness, not having the knowledge of the supreme absolute truth. And as a result of that, they are suffering. Seeing that suffering, even you be materially very successful, a pure devotee sees that also as your suffering, because you are in forgetfulness of Krishna. You don't have the knowledge of Krishna. So therefore, the devotee feels compassion, seeing your material condition, your condition of not having Krishna consciousness. It does not matter whether you're rich or poor, educated or ignorant, successful in this material world or not. And the devotee, his heart, which is filled with bhakti, is now flowing towards that person in the form of compassion. So this compassion is nothing but bhakti. As a result of that compassion, now this person gets some good qualities. Now, seeing those good qualities, another devotee is giving him mercy, or the same devotee is giving him more mercy. So the second time he's getting mercy, that is not because of any good, that's not conditional, because those good qualities are also coming from bhakti. Bhakti is cause for bhakti. That's the point I wanted to make. So anyway, seeing the good qualities. So Narad Muni is saying there that seeing my good qualities, those Bhakti Vedantis gave me mercy. But actually, that mercy is coming from Bhakti. I mean, that mercy is the cause. So that mercy that he got, that mercy that he got by seeing the seva or the good qualities of Narad Muni, that mercy is also ahaituki. This is just a philosophical point because the situation came, I just explained that, not directly related to the pastime that we are discussing here. Because when it is just pastime, it's wonderful to hear, no doubt. And it's very, very purifying, very, very elevating. But when will we discuss the philosophical points then? Actually, the lives of devotees are perfect example of philosophy. You can see the philosophy shine in the character, in the life of devotees. That's the best way to actually discuss philosophy, through their example. So here, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told Prataprudra Maharaj, because he's saying, please give me mercy, give me mercy. So he said, arrange for a residence for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he returns. So now he got seva. That is the mercy. So and the king also suggested Kashi Mishra's house is the best place because it is close to the temple and it is in solitude, no disturbance. So hearing this, so Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya went about with that, you know. But Mahaprabhu, Prataprudra Maharaj became so eager now. And now Mahaprabhu is going to return and he's going to get darshan. He became very eager. Not only Prataprudra Maharaj, but all the Vaishnavas in Nīlāchala Kshetra, everybody came to know of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And everybody, they didn't get to, you know, they were not the close associates of Mahaprabhu, like Nityananda Prabhu and Mukunda, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Gopinath Ācārya. Like this. They are not the close associates of Mahaprabhu. So they didn't get darshan of the Lord. They were not introduced to the Lord. So they all wanted to see the Lord. They were also waiting eagerly. And when their separation became so intense, they were not able to bear the separation. Then Mahaprabhu returned from his South India tour. So we saw in the recent verses we were reading that now Mahaprabhu has returned and all these devotees went to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and requested him, please, please, you are our only, you know, only by your mercy, because you are the Lord's person, right? Because the Lord says, Sarvabhauma, I have traveled all over South India, but I have not met even one devotee who's like you. He's glorifying Sarvabhauma. And then, of course, he said, but Raghunandana Rai, he gave me great pleasure. So all these Nīlāchala Vāsī Vaishnavas came to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and requested, please give us, you know, allow us to get darshan of the Lord, please. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, tomorrow Mahaprabhu is going to go to Kashi Mishra's house. There I will arrange your meeting with the Lord. And the next day, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath temple, took darshan. He was given Mahaprasad of Jagannath. The servants of Jagannath met him. He embraced them. And he came outside and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya took Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Kashi Mishra's house. In Kashi Mishra's house, we saw how Kashi Mishra fell at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Dandavat obeisances, and he surrendered. He was so pleased. When earlier Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya went to Kashi Mishra's house and told him what the king had said, he was so pleased. I'm so fortunate that Prabhupada is going to stay in my house. So there was a long discussion about Prabhupada, right? The master at whose lotus feet all the Prabhus take shelter. So that is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is Nityananda Prabhu, that is Advaita Ācārya, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. The master at whose lotus feet all the Prabhus means pure devotees who have surrendered their lives to Krishna. The master at whose lotus feet all Prabhus take shelter, that is Prabhupada. So Kashi Mishra was so pleased. He felt himself so fortunate that Prabhupada is going to stay in my house. And now when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually came, he just fell down in Dandavat obeisances. He surrendered his house, himself, everything what he had. His body, mind, soul, everything at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And how did Mahaprabhu reciprocate? Mahaprabhu showed his Chaturbhuja form. And then he embraced Kashi Mishra like this. And there Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya introduced all the other devotees had also come, the Nīlāchala Vasis, Vaishnavas, one by one. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya began to introduce to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then after he introduced, they all fell at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In one line, if you want me to say, he said that these devotees are the ornaments of Nīlāchala Kshetra. They are constantly meditating on your lotus feet. They don't have any other meditation or any other goal in life save and except your lotus feet. And they were living until now like chatak birds, who is so, in such separation. That means it's in separation from that water coming from rain cloud. It is so parched. It's just, as it's on the verge of death. So can you imagine when the thing that is going to save your life, it is just there and you're just waiting for it. This is going to save my life. This is going to save my life. Like that, these devotees were waiting for Mahaprabhu's return, that now when he comes back, that is going to save my life. Just like chatak birds, thirsty chatak birds. They've been waiting for you, my Lord, please accept them. Like that. So after that, then Bhavananda Rai came. Bhavananda Rai is the father of Raghunandana Rai, and he surrendered along with... So Raghunandana Rai was not in Puri at the time. He was in South India, Rajamandri, Vidyanagar. So he came with the other 4 sons. He also surrendered at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everything, my home, my wealth, my servants, my sons, my body, soul, everything, I surrender at your lotus feet. Mahaprabhu embraced him. And then before that, when he came, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya introduced, this is the father of Raghunandana Rai. Oh, how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified Raghunandana Rai. He kept on glorifying Raghunandana Rai to Bhavananda Rai. And then he said, anyone who has the jewel of Raghunandana Rai for his son, nobody can glorify him in the entire world. It's not possible for anyone to glorify him like this. So that was a very wonderful, loving exchange. Then Mahaprabhu sent Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya back home. Not Sarvabhauma, Bhavananda Rai. Bhavananda Rai had offered one of his sons completely, 24 hours, to be with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his service, Vaninath Pattanayaka. So when Mahaprabhu sent Bhavananda Rai away, he kept Vaninath with him for his service. He accepted. Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya sent the other devotees also away. At that time, Mahaprabhu called for Kala Krishnadas, who had accompanied him to South India. And then he told Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, send him away now. He can go wherever he likes. I'm not responsible for him. He was with me in South India, but he left me and he went and joined the Bhattatharis. I went and rescued him and I brought him back. Now he's not my responsibility. Let him go wherever he likes. Krishnadas started crying and Mahaprabhu said, he didn't say anything. He just left. He walked away. And he just kept crying. Meanwhile, Nityananda Prabhu, Mukunda, Jagannātha Pandit, Damodar, they were feeling so sorry for Kala Krishnadas. So we see the mercy of Vaishnavas. Even if the Lord rejects, the devotees don't reject, however fallen we may be. So that is our only saving grace. So they decided, they were thinking, they made a plan how to keep Kala Krishnadas. So they decided that we need somebody. Mahaprabhu just arrived the day before. So now we need someone to inform Śacīmātāra and the devotees in Bengal about the return of Mahaprabhu. We will send Kala Krishnadas. So they made a plan. The next day, they went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they said, the devotees in Bengal, they are in such great distress because of not getting any news about you for such a long time. When you went to South India, they didn't hear anything about you. When he was in Puri, always from time to time, devotees are going back and forth from Bengal to Puri. They are like 2 rooms of the same house. So people are going back and forth. Language is also pretty similar, actually. One who knows Bengali, he understands Oriya, and those who know Oriya, they understand Bengali. They're pretty close like that. So they devotees went, and also devotees, Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees, right? Puri is dham of Lord Jagannath. So they go to Jagannath temple and come back. For Rath Yatra, they go and come back. So devotees are constantly traveling from Navadvīpa to Puri. So this way they would Śacīmātāra and the devotees would get some news about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They got news that he went to South India, but they didn't hear anything about after that. So now the devotees said to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we want to send one person. They didn't take name. They said one person we want to send to inform them. Satyarāja-rāmānanda, Advaita Ācārya, Srivas Thakur, and all the devotees. They are in such great separation from you. They are in great distress. Mahaprabhu said, whatever you think, whatever you desire, you can do. That's all. He gave permission without even considering who is going and all that. So the devotees immediately they sent Krishnadas to Bengal with lots of Mahaprasad to be given to Śacīmātāra and to the devotees, Jagannath's Mahaprasad. And Krishnadas arrived in Bengal. And then first and foremost, he went to Navadvīpa to see Śacīmātāra. He offered Dandavat obeisances at her lotus feet and gave her the Mahaprasad. And then he sat down and he told her about the return of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. She became so happy. She was overwhelmed with ecstasy. He gave such joy to Śacīmātāra. You know why the devotees wanted to send? That was one thing. They wanted to inform the devotees, and also that by hearing this, certainly they will all come to Jagannātha Purī to see the Lord. That was also there. So from there, and other devotees also in Bengal, they got news. So they were all so ecstatic. They were all so blissful when they heard that the Lord has returned. Then he went to Advaita Ācārya's home. And when he informed Advaita, same thing, he offered obeisances and gave the Mahaprasad. And then he sat down. With Advaita Ācārya, it is said he gave all complete, detailed information about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because this Krishnadas had personally traveled with Mahaprabhu throughout this time in South India. He was there daily, day and night he was with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he gave detailed information to Advaita Ācārya. When Advaita Ācārya got news about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has now come back to Jagannātha Purī, he became so blissful. He started roaring and then singing and dancing like this. So then one by one, we started hearing about the glories of the various devotees that lived in Bengal, and that's what we discussed in the past class. One by one, this devotee heard and that devotee heard, and how that devotee became so happy. So we heard the names of all the various devotees. And then finally, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, how many names can I take? How many can I take? The Lord's devotees are innumerable. Everyone was completely blissful to hear about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So just some names that we saw, some devotees names that were mentioned. I will go over that. So Śuni Acharya Gosaira Ananda Hoila Prema Veshe Hunkara Bahu Nritya Gita Koila. This is Advaita Ācārya. He danced so much. Hunkara means he roared like that. And then Haridas Thakur, he was so blissful. Vasudev Dutt, Murari Gupta, Shivananda Sen, Acharya Ratna, Vakreshwar Pandit, Acharya Nidhi, Gadadhar Pandit, Sriram Pandit, Damodar Pandit, Shriman Pandit, Vijaya, Vijay Das, then Sridhar, Kolavecha Sridhar, Raghav Pandit, Acharya Nandana, that means Nandana Acharya. So in yesterday's class, we went over a little bit, just a little bit, about each of these devotees. Just, we get the details of these devotees in Chaitanya Bhagavat. The pastimes that happened with these devotees we'll find in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So like this. So finally he said, Kateka kahibo ara jata prabhuragan. So how many can I list and how many can I describe like that? So then what happened after they heard about Mahaprabhu's return? Shuniya sabara hoila parama ullas. Sabe meli gela Sri Advaita Rapash. When they got this news that Mahaprabhu has returned, they became so blissful. These devotees in Navadvīpa, they would meet, like, for example, in the morning. Now we go and buy flowers and all that. But actually, even to this day, you will see devotees all gather in, you have these flowering plants. In the morning, every day, you will see devotees come together picking flowers. And these flowers are, I don't know what you call in English. I think Nandivardhanam, that's in Telugu it's called. They're white flowers. You have like mogra, but not fragrant like mogra. But it opens up like this, flat with, I think probably seven petals, white with a stalk. And that plant is filled with flowers every single day. This is the speciality of this plant. Every day you pick every day, and every day it is filled with flowers, and throughout the year, 12 years it will come. And how many? Not one or two, it is filled with so many flowers. So devotees come and they are picking, and while they're picking, so in Srivas Thakur's house, there is this flowering tree. They all come and they're picking, and while they're picking, they're talking about what's news. News means, Mahaprabhu, when he was earlier in Navadvīpa, they would be talking, oh, Mahaprabhu is back now. He went to Gaya, and he's back from Gaya, but his demeanor is completely changed now. He's always in separation. This is good news for us, for our Vaishnava family. Nimai Pandit, who used to be, always arguing, debating on logic, on grammar, now he has changed completely. He's always chanting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. This is so amazing. Now Nimai Pandit has become a Vaishnava. Now, this Krishna consciousness will spread like anything, like that. So they were so they would gather. So devotees would get news. What I'm trying to say is, there are, or when they go to take bath, 3 times a day, they will go to take bath in the Ganges. So at the bathing ghat, they see each other and they will talk. In the morning when they're picking flowers, they come together, and while they're picking their flowers for their morning worship, they're talking. So this news will spread very quickly amongst devotees. So he came to Śacīmātāra's house, Krishnadas, Kala Krishnadas, and Śacīmātāra is informed. Then he went to Advaita Ācārya's house. Now you can understand. Everyone else also gets that news. So then when and not just in Navadvīpa, it is said in Bengal, because Raghav Pandit, he lives in Panihati. And then Shivananda Sen, he also lives in Kumarhata. Like this, different places they are living. But they all got this news. And when they got this news, everybody came and gathered in Advaita Ācārya's house. And Advaita Ācārya, he's the leader of all the Vaishnavas. He immediately organized a festival, Vaishnava festival, like the festival of inspiration or Sadhu Sangha, like that. They all got together, and there's a big festival now for 2 to 3 days. Kirtan, Prasadam, Krishna Katha, like that. But one thing that came out with this gathering of Vaishnavas is Advaita Ācārya became determined that now we should all go to Jagannātha Purī. Yes. See, Mahaprabhu had left. He had gone to Jagannātha Purī after taking sannyas. Then within 2 months after going to Jagannātha Purī, he went to South India. So they never got the opportunity to go and see the Lord after he left for Jagannātha Purī. They've been here. And then he went to South India. It's been 6 years now. In South India, he traveled. So now Advaita Ācārya, during that festival, what happened? All the devotees met together at Navadvīpa, and with Mother Saci's here. Advaita Ācārya then held a festival that lasted 2 or 3 days. Thereafter, they all made a firm decision to go to Jagannātha Purī. So this was the outcome. When they gathered there, what happened? They all made a firm decision that we will all go to Jagannātha Purī to be with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now we'll read the next verse. Today I have a class in the temple. So I will have to hurry up. We'll have a short class. Sabe meli navadvīpe ekatra hoya, Nīlādri calila śacīmātāra ājñā loya. Sabe meli navadvīpe ekatra hoya. They all got together. They all gathered in Navadvīpa. Nīlādri calila śacīmātāra ājñā loya. So first they came to Advaita Ācārya's house. From here itself, it is not that at some future time we will decide, right? Let's plan on certain day, we will all, maybe during summer vacations, we will go to Puri. Not like that. They all came to Advaita. Just see. first priority. This is not first priority. This is the only priority in life. Just serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And now they came, when they got news that Mahaprabhu is back, they all came to Advaita Ācārya's house for 2 to 3 days. And Advaita Ācārya also arranged, when they all came to his house, he arranged for that festival, bhoga, prasad, accommodations, everything. And 2 to 3 days they had festival. And right in that festival only it was decided that now we have to go to Jagannātha Purī. We have to go and see the Lord also. How did the devotees go to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he came back? They were running, dancing and running. Nityananda Prabhu was so impatient. I'm talking about in Jagannātha Purī. From Alalanath, Mahaprabhu sent news through Kala Krishna Das. How did the devotees feel in Jagannātha Purī when they got news that the Lord came back? They were impatient to see him. They just ran. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was running on the sea beach. He was running to go and see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The devotees, Mukunda, Jagadananda, Damodar Pandit, they were ecstatic. Gopinath Acharya, they started dancing as they were going. Mahaprabhu is back, Mahaprabhu is back. They're dancing and going. Nityananda Prabhu couldn't contain, he was too impatient. He couldn't wait that separation anymore. He was also running and going. This is the condition of the devotees when they heard. Can you imagine the devotees here in Navadvīpa? They're, compared to the devotees in Nīlādri, they're far away. They are also feeling the same way. Mahaprabhu is back. We must see him. We must see him. But it's a little distance away. They cannot just run and go immediately. They have to gather everyone together, and it will take several days for them to walk and cross the river and go like that. So, but they decided, and they had gathered in Advaita Ācārya's house. From there itself, they all took permission from Śacīmātāra. Śacīmātāra didn't go because yeah. When one takes sannyas, then no connection with family. Of course, with mother, still, by Advaita Ācārya's mercy, once or twice, 2 times, Mahaprabhu had come to Bengal. He brought Śacīmātāra to cook for him. He arranged that. But yeah. And also, I think also, it would be difficult for her to travel. Where will she stay there? I don't know. I'm just thinking. Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi. This is home, This is home. Advaita Shantipur, Advaita Ācārya, they're all from the same place. Isn't it? All grihasthas also here. But Jagannātha Purī is a different setup. Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi and his associates are also, he has many sannyasi associates and brahmacharis. So, yeah, we don't hear that Śacīmātāra goes to Jagannātha Purī. So they took permission from Śacīmātāra. Nīlādri, calila, śacīmātāra, ājñā loya. They took permission of Śacīmātāra and they all went to Nīlāchal from there itself. Sabe, meli, navadvīpe, ekatra hoya, Nīlādri, calila, śacīmātāra, ājñā loya. All the devotees met together at Navadvīpa and with Mother Saci's permission departed for Nīlādri, Jagannātha Purī. Yes. So they made a firm decision to go, and then they took permission of Śacīmātāra. So they gathered at Navadvīpa. So this festival was 2 to 3 days in Advaita Ācārya's house. So in Navadvīpa, those residents who were there in Navadvīpa, they would probably go to their homes and all that, And then the next day when they're leaving, right, they all gathered together and they started their journey from Navadvīpa. Just like when you have parikrama, you will have a designated spot where everybody should come. And from there, as a group, everyone will start traveling in parikrama, like that. So all the devotees met together at Navadvīpa, right? From where they would start their travel. That means they came from other places also. They came to Advaita Ācārya's house. So everyone just gathered and then they took permission of Śacīmātāra. So maybe they gathered in the house of Śacīmātāra. They took permission from Śacīmātāra, from Yogpīt. Then they departed for Jagannātha Purī. Prabhura samācāra śuni kulīna-grāma-vāsī satyarāja-rāmānanda mililā sabe āsī. So from all different places of Bengal, from kulīna-grāma, who is the resident of kulīna-grāma? satyarāja-rāmānanda. Right? Inhabitants of kulīna-grāma, satyarāja-rāmānanda, and all the other devotees there came and joined Advaita Ācārya. They got news that Mahaprabhu returned, and they also got news that Advaita Ācārya is taking all the devotees to Nīlādri. So he also came. Prabhura samācāra śuni kulīna-grāma-vāsī satyarāja-rāmānanda mililā sabe āsī. So Satyaraj and Ramananda. I don't know about these devotees, so I beg your forgiveness. If we hear in future, I can explain something. But from kulīna-grāma, Satyaraj and Ramananda devotees came and joined Advaita Ācārya to go to Nīlādri. Mukunda Narahari Raghunandana KHANDA hoite Ācāryera thai aila Nīlādri jaite. So when they heard that, oh, the devotees are all going to go to Nīlādri, then devotees from other places also came and joined. One place is Shri Khanda. Khanda means Shri Khanda. Who stays in Shri Khanda? You have Raghunandan Thakur. His father is Mukunda Sarkar, and his father's brother, that means his uncle, is Narahari Sarkar. Mukunda Sarkar, Narahari Sarkar, and you can say Raghunandan Sarkar, but he's called Raghunandan Thakur. So about Raghunandan Thakur, the story is, he was just a small boy, just a 5-year-old boy. And you must have heard this famous story. First of all, we'll hear about Mukunda Sarkar. Mukunda Sarkar was a doctor by profession, Vaidya, for the king, the Muslim king. So one day he went to the king and he saw that the king is seated on a high platform, right, on his singhasan. And the servants were fanning him, summertime, with a peacock fan. And being the Raja Vaidya, the king's doctor, he was also on an elevated position. And when he saw, all of a sudden, when he saw the servants bring the peacock feathers and they're fanning, seeing the peacock feathers, he remembered Krishna and he went into ecstasy and he just fainted and fell. He came rolling down he fell from that high platform. He came down on the ground. And then the king got concerned and he ran to him and he said, "What happened? What happened, Mukunda? Are you okay?" And then he came to external consciousness. He said, "No, I'm okay." "What happened?" He said, "No, I have this disease like epilepsy. Sometimes it happens like this." Devotees don't reveal their ecstasies to anybody. They don't say, "Oh, I remembered Krishna and I went into ecstasy." No, they never say that. Because those ecstasies are meant for Krishna's pleasure, not for getting some recognition or attention from people. They never reveal. They don't talk about them, like they're something very important or anything. Even if they are, they try very hard to suppress them, but even if they're revealed, they just push it aside, like that's not so important, like that. They don't like to talk about that. So he said that, no, I have a disease like that. So this is the exalted position of Mukunda Sarkar. Simply by seeing the peacock fan, he remembers Krishna and that's his exalted position. He had a son called Raghunandan, and he was another great exalted person. What is the greatness of Raghunandan? You all heard this story, I think, I'm sure. I also told you. This is in Shri Khanda. To this day, you will find Raghunandan's glory. Devotees go there. So in Shri Khanda, where Raghunandan, his father, Mukunda Sarkar, he worshipped the deity, Gopinath, at home. So he had a temple at home, he's worshipping his deity. So one day he had to go out of town on some business. So he told 5-year-old little Raghunandan to make the offering to the deities. Mother will give you bhoga, you make the noon offering. And then you make sure that Krishna eats. Offer nicely and make sure that Krishna eats. And then he went away. So Raghunandan's mother at noontime gave him the whole Rajbhog plate, and he went inside, shut the door and put it on the altar. And then he chanted mantras the way the father told him. And then he's standing and waiting for Krishna to eat. The way you serve a guest at home, right? You serve them and then you wait for them to eat. And if they need more, you serve more. And then you give them water to wash their hands, etc. Like that. So he offered and he's waiting for Gopinath to eat. And he's seeing Gopinath is not eating. So then the father had told him, you make sure that Gopinath eats. So he said, Gopinath, please eat, Gopinath. And then the food is still there. Bhoga is still there. Actually, Gopinath ate already. It became prasad. He ate already because Krishna eats, angani yasya sakalendriya vritti mantik. With one anga, he can do the activities of all other angas. So with his eyes, he can eat also. With his eyes, he can create also. Krishna glances on Prakriti and there is creation. So Krishna glances on the bhoga and that becomes prasad. He eats. He can do that. He does that. So he ate, but little boy, he's not. So then he started crying. My father told me to make sure that you eat. You're not eating. What will I tell my father? Please eat, Gopinath. He started crying. So then Gopinath, the deity, spoke, seeing the innocence and the purity of the child. That's our problem. We cannot have that purity. We don't see Krishna as a person. Even when we make offerings, we see him just as a statue or something. Just make the offering and then, yes, now I will not get karmic reaction and just, it's offered. So now I will eat, I have no problem. But that's why consciousness. Look at the consciousness. That's why he's such an exalted devotee, even though a small boy. So he said, he started crying, Gopinath, please eat, please eat. So in reciprocation to that, the deity also reciprocates to our devotion. The deity is reciprocating with our devotion. Seeing the sincerity and the devotion of this boy, the deity spoke and said, Gopinath, Raghunandan, I ate already. I'm a deity. I eat with my by glancing. I've eaten. Now it is prasadam. You can take it. Then he said, I ate it. He said, the prasad is still here. The bhoga is still here. He said, no, I ate with my glance. That's how deity eats. He said, I don't understand this glancing philosophy. The food is still there. Started crying, and Gopinath actually came down and sat there and ate everything, the last crumb, everything he ate. Then he was satisfied. He came outside, but his mother was shocked. She's waiting for prasadam outside. Nothing was there. Later, the father came home and he said, where is prasadam? No prasad today. Why? Your son went on the altar and he came back with empty plate. What happened? Did he eat or something? One thing was, Gopinath told Raghunandan, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. So then he didn't. When the mother asked what happened, where is the prasad? He didn't say anything. He just kept quiet. He didn't say. So when the father came, she complained. She said, no food, because he didn't eat. He went inside and he came out with an empty plate. But Mukund Sarkar, being a great devotee, he understood his son's position also. One devotee can understand another devotee. No? A genuine devotee can understand because he knows the symptoms of pure devotion. He can recognize. So he understood his son is not ordinary. So he said, Raghunandan, what happened? He didn't say at first. And then when the father became little strict, he said, Gopinath ate it. So he didn't doubt, but he wanted to see it. So he gave him a laddu and he said, offer this laddu to Gopinath again. he went on the altar, and this time Mukunda Sarkar was sitting and in a hiding place to see what's going on. Same thing happened. He gave laddu. The Lord was not eating. The laddu was still there. And then he cried. The Lord said, he came. He said, so it still happened the same. The Lord came and then he ate. To please Gopinath, he started eating. But while he was eating, Mukunda Sarkar came outside. He was in ecstasy. My Lord, my Lord. And immediately Gopinath stopped eating. He went back on the altar. It is also said because he just ate a full meal. There was, he ate half a laddu only. He didn't eat full laddu. But he came and he embraced his son so much. Soon this Raghunandan's fame, spread all over. Just a small boy, but the deity personally came and ate. That half-eaten laddu is still there to this day. They have kept it in KHANDA, which Gopinath ate. So then I didn't go there. I heard in lectures that it is still there. So I'm thinking it is still there today also. But the fame of Raghunandan spread. It goes further. Very, very exalted devotee. There are many pastimes actually. Another one is, there is one devotee, one associate of Nityananda Prabhu, Abhiram Thakur. So Nityananda Prabhu, Lord Balaram has his personal associates. They're called the 12 Gopals. They're all in Sakyarasa, cowherd boys. So one of them is, and they all appear when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu appeared. They also appear in Gaur Lila. So here is Abhiram Thakur. Abhiram Thakur, he has a speciality. He carries a whip in his hand. And that the name of that whip is called Jai Mangal. And he will go and beat people. Only when he shows mercy to someone, he'll go and whip them with his Jai Mangal. Anyone who gets whipped by his Jai Mangal, he gets Shuddha Bhakti. That's his mercy. So you have to first take the beating and you'll get Shuddha Bhakti. And also, he'll go and offer his obeisances in front of the deity or Shaligram Shila. If that deity or Shila does not have the Supreme Lord personally, then that Shaligram Shila will break into, it will break. The deity also will break. If Krishna is not there in the deity personally, then that deity will break by his offering obeisances. By Abhiram Thakur's offering obeisances, that deity will break. And if he offered obeisances to a devotee, or obviously he'll offer obeisances to anyone when he offers obeisances to somebody, if that person has even one material desire, even a tinge of material desire in his heart, if he has even a tinge of material desire in his heart, that person's head will crack into 1,000 pieces. Therefore, people became afraid. When Abhiram Thakur came, they would be scared. Oh, he may not come and offer obeisances, because who is free from all material desires? Who thinks like that? Even the greatest devotees never think I'm free from all material desires. Rather, they think I'm so lowly, right? So, and then if he would come, if Abhiram Thakur would come to your house, right, and take darshan of your deities on the altar, would you be nervous? Because the deity is really reciprocating with your devotion, isn't it? So if your devotion is first class, then the Lord is personally present there, accepting all your offerings. And then what to speak of the hunter, the whip that he carried. So now Abhiram Thakur heard about the glories of Raghunandan Thakur. Everybody is talking. He wants to take darshan of Raghunandan Thakur. And then the news comes to Sri Khanda. Abhiram Thakur is on his way to Raghunandan's house. He wants to take darshan of Raghunandan Thakur. The parents are completely, oh my God, he's just a little boy. What if he has some desire? Small children, they have so many desires, they want to eat or play or whatever, material desire. Then his head will be broken to 1,000 pieces. And then he'll come with his Jai Mangal, he'll beat So they were worried for Raghunandan. He's coming specifically to see Raghunandan Thakur because he heard about the devotion of Raghunandan. The Lord personally appeared. So then they hid him. They hid Raghunandan. Sent him to someone's house or something. So when Abhiram Thakur came, he was looking for Raghunandan. He was not there. So he became sad and he left and he went and sat outside the village. He was sitting there in a garden somewhere, or maybe in the forest somewhere he was sitting. Meanwhile, Raghunandan Thakur finds out that Abhiram Thakur is there. Pure devotee, right? And the eternal associates of the Lord. So when he found, he literally ran to meet Abhiram Thakur. And then actually he went, and then Abhiram Thakur seeing, he just embraced him. He offered obeisances to Raghunandan. Nothing happened to him, obviously. And then he embraced him. So that's one pastime. And then about the brother of Mukunda Sarkar, his name is Narahari Sarkar. So at that time, they danced actually. They danced so much. Abhiram Thakur and Raghunandan, they were dancing so much. There is one pastime about the ankle bell. I don't know if this happened at this time or when Mahaprabhu came. So I will have to check that again one more time. But Narahari Sarkar, he's also an exalted devotee. So Narahari Sarkar is a brahmachari. Mukunda Sarkar is a grihastha. And Mukunda Sarkar's son is Raghunandan Thakur. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Sri Khanda, he gave instructions. Yeah, so this is during the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu actually visited here, he was performing kirtan and he danced so ecstatically that his ankle bell, fell somewhere. And that's related to Narahari Sarkar. Something about that. But Mahaprabhu gave 3 different instructions to the 3 family members. He gave the service of deity worship to Raghunandan Thakur. All your life you do deity worship. To Narahari Sarkar, because he is in the renounced order, he gave him the instruction of preaching. You go and preach. And then to Mukunda Sarkar, he would work and then he would worship he would let me check and tell you. But so he would remain a grihastha. That means as a grihastha, whatever occupational duty you do and and you practice pure devotional service as a grihastha. So setting example for grihasthas, Narahari Sarkar is setting example for the renounced order, and Raghunandan Thakur is setting example for deity worship, performing deity worship like this. So these are the devotees from Sri Khanda. The details of all these devotees, where will you find? You will find in Bhakti Ratnakar. Bhakti Ratnakar is by Narahari Sarkar only. So there you'll find the details of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mukunda, Narahari, Raghunandan. So Narahari Sarkar, Mukunda Sarkar and Raghunandan. Khanda hoite. So from Sri Khanda, when they heard that all the devotees are going to go to Puri, so they all also came to the house of Advaita Ācārya in order to go to Nīlādri. Mukunda, Narahari, Raghunandan and all the others came from Khanda to Advaita Ācārya's home to accompany him to Jagannātha Purī. Acha, this we will discuss tomorrow, because again there will be some discussion here. But I'll stop here. Thank you so much. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. And congratulations to Krishna Priya. Thank you, Mataji, for sending the pictures. I will end here. Srila Prabhupada.